Terence Crawford. He's a very talented fighter. He just win, one big fight. If you see his record, he just beat one good fighter.
Both of us, I was believe. Any doubt in your mind that you beat him? Of course I beat him. Uh, It ain't no doubt in my mind that I won't beat anybody else that I will.
The long-awaited fight between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez is getting closer and closer to becoming a reality. Undisputed super middleweight champion, Canelo has turned up the heat on the potential duel, and Crawford has responded directly to the Mexican.
Good fighter. Like, I respect his skills. But other than that, I don't think he's beating other great fighters like Spence. He did a really good job with Spence. He did like almost look it very easy.
This fight, which has been the subject of negotiations for months, promises to be one of the most exciting and recent boxing history. Crawford, a world champion in 4 different divisions, will try to conquer the 168 PB division, a significant challenge that will test him against one of the best pound-for-pound boxers in the world. However, the rivalry between the two has already begun to heat up. American boxer Terence Crawford has already begun the war of words with the Mexican champion in search of a historic fight between two undisputed champions.
It won't be like any other fight that he's fought recently. And it'll be a well-fought fight for both of us, I believe.
Canelo Alvarez, in a recent interview published on journalist Boxing Man's X account, stated that Crawford does not have the head-to-head record that positions him as a true champion. Look, I respect Terence Crawford, he's very talented, but he only won one big fight. If you look at his record, he has only beaten one good fighter, Errol Spence, other than that he hasn't beaten other great fighters like Spence, affirmed the Mexican. Crawford would in no time responding to Canelo's statements through his X account. The American warned the Mexican champion.
Have people asking you about Terence yet?
No, look, there's like I always say, I respect Terence Crawford.
So out of all the fighters I faced, only one has been good. I take note of that. Just remember what he said, because I've always had the pleasure of making a fighter who is someone end up looking like a nobody with this message. Crawford not only responded to Canelo's statements, but also raised the tension of the fight. The confrontation between the two promises to be a spectacle, not only in the ring, but also outside of it, with an intense rivalry brewing between two of the best boxers in the world.
So, a small fighter like Charlo, he's big. He's big. And maybe everybody's talking about if I'm gonna face Crawford.
Canelo continued speaking on the fight during the interview with the reputable boxing platform. The 34-year-old revealed he was in for the clash with Bud, admitting he won't get any credit. I respect Crawford, he's a great fighter. I always say that, no disrespect to him. Sometimes it's a little crazy that people talk about a small fighter like Charo, which is big, and then everybody is talking about if I'm going to face Crawford, a fighter at 147 who is smaller than Charlo. It makes no sense, but you guys say that right now. At the end of the day, I won't have any credit if I face Crawford. But you never know in boxing. I go up and down and fight everybody out there, so it's possible. Why not? It's possible.
Fighter 147 who is smaller than Charlo. So no make sense when you guys say that.
This was almost a repeat of an interview he had earlier where he said, I'm in, why not? I think Crawford, don't get me wrong, he's a great fighter. But for me in my weight class, it's an easy fight for me, easy money. If the money is right, I'm in, because I don't like to fight guys like Crawford because he moves a lot and the fight is not that great. I saw Crawford in the last fight and he doesn't move that much now. So yeah, if the money is right, I'm in. The fight, which has been in the works for months, would be for the Mexican's 168-pound title, which would mean that Bud would move up 2 divisions in one F swoop, a big disadvantage for him. Although he is assured that he has enough to challenge the Mexican. As part of the negotiations, both fighters are expected to have a preliminary fight before facing each other.
He's an undisputed champion.
Well, I wouldn't count Crawford out in any fight because Crawford has a unique talent. He's a great boxer.
Just a few days ago, Canelo confirmed that he has booked the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas for September 13th in what would be his second fight of the year. Arum, who promoted a number of Crawford fights before the pair parted ways in 2021, believes the Omaha man's ability to switch stances could cause the Mexican problems, despite the weight disparity, which will see the 37-year-old move up 2 weight classes. I wouldn't count Crawford out in any fight, Arum told Fight Hype. calm because Crawford has a unique talent. He's a great boxer-puncher, and he is totally ambidextrous.
Puncher. And he is totally ambidextrous. So he drives his opponent crazy because the opponent trains to fight a right-handed fighter, ends up fighting a southpaw.
So he drives his opponent crazy because the opponent trains to fight a right-handed fighter and ends up fighting a southpaw. And that's what happened to Errol Spence. Spence trained to fight a right-handed fighter, and all he saw was a southpaw fighter. I think what Crawford is looking for is a Manny Pacquiao versus Oscar de la Hoya fight. Alvarez has previously been dismissive of a showdown with the 37-year-old. However, his stance has changed after both men held positive talks with Saudi Arabian boxing chief Turki Al-Sheikh in London. Earlier this month, the 34-year-old recorded 2 victories in 2024, defending his belts with decision wins over Jamie Monga and Edgar Berlanga, while Crawford became a 4-weight world champion after capturing the WBA super welterweight crown with a point success over Isra Madov. And that's what happened to what's his name? Errol Spence. It remains unknown whether Canelo, a 4-division world champion himself, will fight on his customary Cinco de date in May, with International Boxing Federation champion William Skull a possibility, should he elect to have bout before facing Crawford. A victory, which would see him reclaim his status as undisputed super middleweight champion. The highly anticipated clash between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford continues to dominate boxing headlines. While the fight has yet to be officially confirmed, the prospect of these two pound-for-pound titans colliding in the ring has captivated fans worldwide. Canelo last fought in September, successfully defending his unified super middleweight titles against Edgar Berlanga. Crawford, meanwhile, recently moved up to 154 obs, defeating Israel Madrimov to claim the World Boxing Association Super Welterweight Championship. There's loads of things going around at the moment, including a big clash with Canelo Alvarez. Can you tell us what's going on in that situation? And can that happen next? We shall see. Who knows? The fight was initially speculated shortly after Bud dethroned World Boxing Association light middleweight champion Israel Madrimov last August, adding 154 obs to the other 3 weight divisions that he has captured world titles in. Shortly after Crawford's triumph over Madrimov last summer, Canelo made another successful defense of his World Boxing Council, World Boxing Association, and World Boxing Organization super middleweight titles, picking up another comprehensive win in a division that he has dominated since 2021. Enjoying the fruits of my labor. Absolutely deserve it. As I said, you're pound-for-pound king. If it isn't next year, are you done from the sport? Terran, I wouldn't say that right now. I'm just waiting on my options and looking for the best opportunities and options for Terence Crawford. And as both fighters gear up for what could be the biggest fight of their respective careers, the 39-year-old 2E undisputed champion has already spoken out and sent a message of warning. Canelo, speaking on social media, Crawford vowed to shock the world and claim victory over the Mexican superstar. When they finally clash, I'm as shocked the world. Watch, the best is yet to come. I had it in my back pocket this whole time. CW in my career, absolutely last one on him. I promise him if that fight is made. How does it go with you and Canelo? How does it play out? Well, that's why you watching and see. Although he remains confident, it is going to be a monumental task for Bud, who will have to move up 2 weight divisions ahead of facing the 34-year-old Mexican, who has enjoyed tremendous success during his campaign at super middleweight, defeating the likes of Gennady Goov, Caleb Plant, and Gerald Charlo. Despite the weight difference between the two fighters, the potential for this super fight remains a hot topic of discussion. That's what everybody wants to see us fight for, because everybody got answers that need to be answered, and the only way they can be answered is Amir Khan, the only boxer to have faced both Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, offered his unique perspective on this potential showdown in an interview with Box Nation. Amir Khan, who fought Canelo at a catch weight of 155 obs, acknowledged the significant weight advantage that Canelo would possess. Canelo is a beast, man. I fought both of those guys, and I feel that size always wins having weight divisions. There's a purpose behind that. Khan explained. Terran is special, don't get me wrong, but then he's getting hit by a guy like Canelo. World Boxing Council, World Boxing Association, and World Boxing Organization super middleweight champion Canelo Alvarez punches Edgar Berlanga during the second round of a title fight at T-Mobile Arena on September 14, 2024 in Las Vegas, Nevada. Look, I like Crawford, And I think Canelo is a beast that way, honestly. I would advise Crawford not to do that. Khan, who suffered a 6th-round stoppage loss to Alvarez, emphasized the physicality of facing the Mexican superstar. What a fight that would be, though. I'll root for my boy Terence and want him to win that fight. But it would be hard. Does he need that fight? No, I don't think he does. He's done so well in his career and beaten everyone. He's untouchable, one of the best out there pound for pound. But if it's a big payday, I get why it would be made. Why take a risky fight for less money when he can take a seriously hard fight for serious money? Despite the risks, Khan praised Crawford's skill, noting that he has the ability to compete at the highest level. However, he reiterated the potential dangers of such a matchup, adding, "We never want to see fighters get hurt." Canelo versus Jamal Charlo playing out. I think Canelo just outboxes, but no do outbooks him, but I think just outpowers him and beats him to the punch. And you do give Canelo does have some sort of decent speed as well. Amid the growing speculation, Canelo Alvarez addressed the rumors with a brief but intriguing response. "I'm open to talk," while his forward message leaves room for interpretation. It has only fueled the excitement among boxing fans, suggesting that this mega fight might be closer to becoming a reality when they face off in September. Shakur Stevenson thinks Terence Crawford will defeat Canelo Alvarez and can make it a very easy fight. Stevenson, the World Boxing Council lightweight champion,